What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 23, season 4 of Girl You Know What podcast. I am Danielle.
And I'm Keisha.
And take 2 because I screwed up, but it's okay. Things happen, So I didn't have to put that in there, but we just keep it real over here. So we already did our formalities and everything, but so you said your week was, okay,
Okay,
and
yeah.
dealing with senior.
Thanks to my kids, it was,
Right.
she thinks she gonna be clipping shorty all school year long, and no, you're not.
Right. We ain't doing that to that, beautiful
She already
hair.
want a full 26-inch weave down her back, like
Come
for
on,
the first
Sade.
day.
Come on.
Like,
she's
where you at?
she's really channeling her namesake. Let's just put that out there.
Oh my gosh! Like, girl, who you think you are?
And I'm here for it. I'm here for all the dramatics and everything like that.
And she gonna give everyone to you.
Yeah.
Starbucks down to asking for Starbucks. Man. Oh, God, it's just like, girl, get away.
Child, listen. Whew.
For the first day of school, this school year, do you think that I can have like Starbucks in the morning?
Oh, we got it planned. We not only got the outfit planned, but we got our drink planned too.
Like, who are you? Now, first of all, in the morning she gets up and she makes smoothies.
Oh yeah.
Like, it puts her smoothies in her cup.
Yeah.
Like, takes her cup to school. Like, girl, get on somewhere. Do whatever you want. That's what I tell her. Do what you want.
Oh, she real fancy.
Fancy and broke.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Fancy and broke.
Yeah, that's how
she sent me a picture of some ugly $150 Uggs. I'm like, they're not even cute.
It don't matter.
Child, I didn't say nothing. They look like moon boots.
Child. These kids. Ooh.
It's so ugly. But whatever.
Right. Oh, so.
And your week was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was just work, same old same. So.
Yeah, so we have an actual topic.
Yeah, so go ahead.
The topic is going to be, do you have an expectation of privacy in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have a level of privacy that you expect? Or, do you give privacy in a relationship? But before we do that, we're going to talk about some current events that are in the news and some pop culture. Yeah. So you said you want to start with Damon Dash and Ice Cube.
Yeah. So, because I kind of want to go in a little bit on Ice Cube, but not really. But we're just gonna let it flow. We're just gonna let it flow.
Yeah.
So,
Damon Dash.
Yeah.
He was on a podcast.
Yeah, he was on a podcast called That's Fucked Up, and he of course on there again was dragging Jay-Z as he loves to do. And one topic that was brought up was how he felt that it was effed up that Jay-Z worked with R. Kelly when he knew what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah.
Okay.
So go ahead with what you're saying.
My question is, so what we know that they were married.
Mm-hmm.
We have never gotten the particulars.
Right.
From anyone for that matter.
Yeah.
You've never heard Missy, Timbaland, Genuine, Tank. You've never heard anybody from her actual crew because, what people may not remember or know, like she was dating Dame Dash, but that was not her. She hung with them, but that was not her clique. Like Missy and them, like that was her crew.
Right.
We've never gotten any particulars from them about what happened, but hearing the stories of the women, now this is something that my brain just popped into my head, is like hearing the stories of those women, and particularly these last two scragglers,
and
then seeing how Aaliyah was always dressed like a boy. It kind of, now that is something I'm interested in.
Right.
Because did he do that to her?
Well,
because remember that one girl they said that he kind of forces that one girl to look like a guy.
Yeah, he made her cut her hair and everything.
Yeah, like that
the
was
basketball
her,
shorts, all that.
Yes, that was his preference. But when you think back to early Aaliyah, that's how she was.
Right. Well,
She
they
just
said,
had hair.
yeah, well, they said in the documentary that that was just her style. Like she brought her style on, but he probably did have an influence in that because
I
remember,
absolutely believe he did.
yeah, because remember at points they were dressing alike and people were kind of like, now, wait a
Absolutely.
minute, like, hold on, this is a little, different, like, I
Yes, they
mean,
were dressing alike.
yeah. So even though that may
And
have been like a
then
little
if
bit
you
of her
think about
style,
it,
go
when she
ahead.
broke away from him though,
Mm-hmm.
she completely did a 180.
Yeah, because I mean, she still had a little bit of that tomboy in her, that tomboy look,
But it was
but it was more
100%
feminine.
sex.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then when she came out with her last CD, I mean, she
She
was
was
all
full girl.
woman. Yeah, I mean, it was just like she just completely like she came into her own.
Yes. So that
Yeah,
kind of now that I'm a little curious about.
and and a lot of
Um,
girls go through that. Like they had
but
that stage and everything like that. Then
but
when
I'm just
they,
saying because it's him.
yeah, oh yeah,
Because we
definitely. No,
know
I get
his
what you're
track
saying.
record,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we know the hold that he had mentally over the other girls.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were young, yes, that's what we thought. Like, oh,
Right.
that's just her tomboy style. But
Mm-hmm.
now knowing that she was connected to him in that way,
And the other stuff
it
that he did, he's accused of and
exactly
did.
now it
Yeah.
raises a question
Oh
like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
was that you or was that him?
Right. Right.
That's that kind of because think about her prom pictures and her high. She was girly in those pictures.
Oh yeah, she knew how to flip it. She knew how to flip it on you real quick.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It definitely made that I question.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess Dame's thing with Jay-Z,
It's personal.
it's personal
Yeah, because
because
this isn't the first time he's brought it up.
but we could say this about any artist in the industry who has worked with R. Kelly.
And they knew.
I mean, and so now let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
Even back then, we were hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have solid proof. So remember, now I know people who grow up in this day and time, they don't understand that.
Right.
Excuse me. They don't understand that because they have ready access to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Because paparazzi are everywhere.
Right.
People are so willing to tell everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we grew up in an era where everything was a rumor.
Right.
Unless someone actually confirmed it
Mm-hmm.
in an interview or you read it in an article,
We had to have proof.
it was a rumor.
Yeah.
Like we had no proof back then,
Mm-hmm.
unless you really scoured the pages and dissected interviews and pieced things together. And R. Kelly was always denying it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that we came close to any proof was that videotape.
Yeah.
And in that videotape, he still denied it and said it was his brother.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to us back then, these things were rumors.
Mm-hmm.
So I always look at things from both sides.
Right.
Unless Aaliyah verbally told, and she was so mild mannered and shy,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see her verbally telling Jay-Z like, this is the things that he did to me. This is what he did to me.
Right. Well, see, and this is where it all gets crazy because Jay-Z, Damon is saying Jay-Z knew because remember before Damon and Jay-Z, Damon and Aaliyah dated, she dated Jay-Z real briefly, but she broke up with him. So he's thinking that, so Damon in his petty mind is thinking that
she had to tell him.
Well, no, not just that. Obviously, she told him. That's what he's saying. But he worked with R. Kelly that Jay-Z worked with R. Kelly out of spite to Aaliyah. And I was like,
now let me say this.
Come on now.
Sean is an asshole.
Yeah.
Now, 2023, Sean is a grown man and a father.
Right.
1996, Sean was an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
From about 96 till
he started dating Beyonce, basically.
Till Lemonade.
Yeah, pretty much, if we being honest, because he was still an asshole.
Like, Sean is an asshole.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows that. I heard Jazzo tell a story about how, and when he said this, as much as I like Jay-Z,
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is 100% true because we watch him do it throughout the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Once he gets, and I hate to say this, but once he gets what he needs from you, he moves on.
Oh that's been his thing for
And
years.
that is him.
Mm-hmm. That's what he's
So,
done.
do I think he probably did it out of spite? I mean, let me say this. Maybe he didn't do it like, oh, I'm going to show her.
Mm-hmm.
But he probably did it like, girl, you ain't nobody.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care nothing about you.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this money. But here's the thing too. So people were calling in and in comments on this podcast asking Damon, they were like, well, you were a part of this too. You were dancing
Yep.
all in the Fiesta remix video. You and mind you, him and Damon and Aaliyah were dating at this time. So, people were like, it's a little hypocritical
Very.
because you didn't have to be in the video. You could, because you're behind the scenes. You were putting yourself in these videos and doing that little goofy dance that you used to do and everything. You didn't
Uh-huh.
have to be there because you were the business part of the label. So, people were saying you didn't have to do any production on the album. You didn't have to put your name on the album. Well, albums, because there were 2 albums
So,
and a tour. And you're all in the video dancing. So they were like, so what is that about? Aren't you a little hypocritical as well? Because you were dating Aaliyah and you knew what happened. If Jay-Z knew prior, you definitely knew. So his
and their
thing,
relationship was so brief.
yeah.
Again, who's to say that Aaliyah divulged it? Again, we know that they were married. Everybody
Mhm.
knew that. We have
Mhm.
proof of that. But again, now Dame, what she told you,
Mhm.
you probably definitely were privileged to the information because they was together for a while.
Right, up until her death, yeah.
Yes, they were together for a while. Now, did you go back and tell Jay-Z? That's the question, which you probably
Mhm.
did because you talk too much,
Yeah, oh, I'm
as
sure
we
he
clearly
did.
see.
Yeah. So he's saying that the reason why he was able, like, why he participated in, the videos and the
Oh my
projects and
God.
everything is because Aaliyah gave him the okay.
So then what's the problem with Jay-Z doing?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, Dame, like, come on now. Like, quit bringing
You
this up
know
because
what?
it doesn't
What?
make you look good.
Stop throwing rocks at the throne.
Yeah, and,
Stop.
and I mean, you can
Stop.
keep up here and saying, I mean, Aaliyah's not here to defend herself. So I just wish that they would stop bringing up, accusations and stuff like that when it comes to these deceased, celebrities, just to keep their names going and keep your name going, whatever. But
And can I say something for you women who date these men? You women who date these men who walk around and still talk about women, and I don't care if she passed away.
right.
It's over with.
Yeah.
So the fact that you still walk around and you still engage in conversations about her
Mhm.
and engage and you deeply divulge your feelings, and I don't have time for that. Like,
No.
no white girl, whoever you is that's dating him, get away from him. Like, it's too much.
Yeah, I
Too
mean,
much.
it's just like, come on now. It's just like, 'cause I mean, 'cause you're doing the same thing. Just because Aaliyah allegedly, we don't know that she gave you the okay to go ahead and be involved in the projects. You could have still said no if you felt this strongly
But
about it,
again,
and
a
all these years
million
later.
things that you could talk about, Dame.
I mean, come on
Why
now.
are you talking about that? Of
Exactly.
all the other issues that you and Sean had,
Listen.
you could have picked any other topic.
Well, it's
Why
because
did you bring that up? You could have
right.
talked about diabetes education.
I mean, something.
Anything that pertains to your life that
Right.
is not connected to that other grown man.
Thank
And
you.
this is why you don't have no hold on the industry no more.
Right. I mean, you could be talking
Because
about your crazy ass cousin Stacy, who's out here acting a fool.
this is like women stuff, as the
Yeah.
guys would say.
Listen.
This is like
It is. It's very petty.
this is very whole movement. Like
Yeah.
you're moving like a sucker.
I mean,
You ought to
exactly.
just be plain. And it's like, find something else to talk about, dude.
It's
Like for
let it
real.
go.
You got to get over, baby. It's not 1995 no more. Let
Right.
that go. It's
Yeah.
not 96 no more. You
Thank
got to
you.
come out of there.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go. I mean, you've moved on. Jay definitely has moved
It's
on.
not big pimping no more. Okay. It's not
It's
reasonable
not.
doubt no more.
Y'all Negroes are in your 50s. Let it go.
I mean, my God,
I mean, let it
with
go.
grown children,
Thank you.
be worried about your son living on his path to being clean and sober.
That
You
part.
have a million things you could have been. I don't really respect him. That's his problem right there.
Right. And they said this
That's
wasn't
why
the only
he is not active in the industry. That's
right.
why, yeah, people can say they respect him as a businessman, but
Mm-hmm.
see, what they respect about him was that gorilla pit mentality that he came into
Yeah.
the boardroom with.
Right.
But look, all of you who respected that about him and who thought that he was such a good businessman and that was a good business practice
Mm-hmm.
versus the guys who separated from him,
Mm-hmm.
you are poor.
Yeah.
Those men are rich.
Think about that.
Compared to those men, you're poor. I just want to say
Mm-hmm.
that. You
Yeah.
may be rich compared to me. Compared to those men, you are poor. And
Mm-hmm.
you're exhibiting poor behavior in
Yeah.
your conversation. It's like let it go.
Yeah. I mean, because it's
Find
like,
a way to make some more money.
right, I mean, every interview that he goes on, he got to go in on Jay-Z. It's like Jay don't say shit about him.
For what?
Yeah. Even if he's asked about Dame, like I've seen interviews where he's been asked about Dame, where people have tried to get Jay-Z to say something negative about him. Even though they don't get along, Jay will not say nothing negative about him. He will talk about the good times on Rockefeller and what they did and what they
Yes.
accomplished and all that stuff, or he just avoids the question.
Because what kind of grown man is out here throwing dirt on another man's name
Right.
who put food in your mouth?
That part.
Because y'all both equally helped each other.
Mm-hmm.
When you came to a place where you didn't know how to control yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Sean separated himself from you.
Yeah.
Him and Biggs
Mm-hmm.
went this way,
Yep.
and you went that way.
And you ain't been the same since.
And you've been poor. I'm gonna say it again.
Mm-hmm.
And they are rich.
Mm-hmm.
Emery, Biggs, and Jay and Tata,
All dipped.
they dipped and they
Mm-hmm.
all living well.
Yep. Yeah, so just a
And you over
mess.
there
Yeah, still talking about
hollering,
Jay-Z
still
and
talking
Aaliyah.
loud.
I mean, you've been what? Is he married again? I know he married Rachel Roy
He married to
after
that white lady now.
okay, yeah, so you've been married twice and you still talking about Aaliyah. I mean, come on now. So anyway, so let's talk.
Ice Cube. What did Ice Cube do?
Okay, so now Ice Cube has already been on thin ice with me. Now anyone who knows me and you too, knows we love hip hop, especially '90s hip
Mm-hmm.
hop.
Yeah.
And Cube is like in my top 5,
Right.
MCs of all time. So it's just like I can try. I was separating like the last election with Trump and Biden. Cube came out and he was saying some little suspect things, whatever, but I kind of let it go. And now it all makes sense of the why he comes out around election time and when things start getting hot and everything like that because of what happened this past week. So Ice Cube, so I guess Tucker Carlson, after he got the boot from Fox News, which says a lot right there, that he has a show on Twitter, which is funny in itself, where it's called something about where, I don't know what it's called, but he drives around. He took the concept obviously from somebody else, but he drives around with celebrities and they talk. So, and it's probably just celebrities who are going to kiss his ass, whatever, something like that. So, so Ice Cube was on the show this week, and you saw that picture that I posted with Ice Cube and all them white folks. Those are people who were
you
involved
heard
in
what
the
I
show.
said. Excuse
Yeah.
me, I just yawned. How disrespectful.
No, it is what it
you
is.
heard what I said. What's going on here?
Girl, mess.
What is
So,
this about?
so he was on the show, and him and Tuckums, as Joy Reid calls him, they went on a drive through South Central Los Angeles, like that was supposed to prove something. And the whole time, like, now I didn't watch it, but this is like from a recap that I watched. And they're saying that, the whole time Tuckums is just, praising Ice Cube about being an independent thinker and how, he was against the vaccination and how he, missed out on millions of dollars because he wouldn't get vaccinated and all this other stuff, so he's just a great citizen. He's just amazing. So, my issue with this, not only with him just going on the show and him constantly surrounding himself with these type of people, that don't have his best interests in mind, don't care, are using him,
Mm-hmm.
But he went on there and let me say this, there are certain conversations that you don't have in mixed company.
Yeah.
One is about you don't have a conversation about Black Lives Matter. He went in on Black Lives Matter, and we've talked about it too. But we're black and having this conversation with each
Yeah.
other.
I don't think a lot of Black people understand or are willing to accept that every conversation, you know, it's just like we were talking about this morning, me and
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie were,
Mm-hmm.
just how we have gotten away as the generations get further and further away from the 50s and 60s and the way that our parents were raised.
Mm-hmm.
We have gotten away from the solidarity of Black people being with Black people,
Right.
meaning Black people in the 50s and 60s didn't tell white people nothing.
Nothing.
They didn't trust them.
No.
We smiled. We know they went to work. They nodded. Yes, a boss. They did all
Did
that.
what you had to do to
They got
survive.
home. You wouldn't. They didn't want to let no white folks in their house. Like,
Mm-mm.
and it's just weird now as we get older. You can be a free thinker. I mean, if
Yeah.
that's your choice, but and don't go around people who you know are blatantly racist
Exactly. And
and then pick apart a Black organization.
mm-hmm.
Um, it's just inappropriate.
It's
Like
very
I don't know
inappropriate.
another way, another word to use for it.
Yeah.
It's just inappropriate. Like
Yeah.
it's not okay. Um, and especially you going around hemming and hawing with people who want to shut down the freedom of expression of
Mm-hmm.
the very thing that made you who you are today.
Thank you.
You think they don't want to put a cap on music still?
Right.
You think because we got a little parent advisory sticker that they okay with that?
Oh,
They want to whitewash everything.
yeah. And people were asking in the comments that, like on Twitter, they were like, why didn't Tucker Carlson bring up Ice Cube's song, F the Police and
That's
all
the
this other?
police.
Yeah, he didn't bring up none of that stuff, so because, it wouldn't have fit
Ice
the narrative
Cube,
what was
I
going
can
on.
believe it though. I mean, I just because I mean, I heard him say like, he's not a part of the club,
Mm-hmm.
because he won't do this. And I mean, Ice Cube, what I'm starting to notice about this COVID though, um, Caucasians is spreading more COVID than anybody.
That part. That part right
I
there.
mean, if we're just being honest,
Yeah.
they spreading more COVID. It may be us passing away, but it comes from a lack of cleanliness on the part of Caucasians.
Mm-hmm.
That's first.
Right.
And I know people don't want to talk about that, but we walk into these malls and people were walking into, restaurants and everything you touch, all that stuff. Listen, and now we know they wasn't bathing. So we know they weren't washing their hands. I mean, this is a given.
Oh, how many times you been in the public restroom and they just walk right out? I mean, come
Woo!
on now.
Ooh, girl, I will gag. Hold on,
Listen.
those girls were on a whole podcast where they were saying, like, I don't understand why I have to wash my hands when I go to the bathroom. Like, why would a guy have to wash his hands after touching his swang? Like, is it dirty? Like,
I
I
mean,
don't
that
get
just
it.
lets you know that they don't think they're dirty.
Lord Jesus.
But
I just,
so not only the Black Lives Matter conversation he talked about Barack Obama and how disappointed he was with Barack Obama's presidency and how he didn't do anything for the black community and all this other stuff. And I said, now I know we're not having this conversation with Tucker Carlson of all
49
people.
white presidents. And you niggas take the opportunity to talk about the one black man we had up there.
Exactly. I mean, what
See,
did you think was going to
this is
happen?
where we are failing as black people
Mm-hmm. It's an
because
excuse.
we will take every opportunity to drag each other in the
Mm-hmm.
mud.
Yep.
But we will let a white man get away with the exact same thing and won't say nothing,
Mm-hmm.
which really kind of rolls us into the topic of age limits and just Congress and,
Yeah, let's
you
go right
know,
into that. Yeah, because
politics anyway.
child.
Because that is like when they really start putting them people's ages up, the fact that the sitting president is what, 89,
No, he's what?
86?
No, he's not in his mid 80s yet, but he's
He's older than Donald Trump.
oh yeah,
Donald
he's
Trump
older
is
than Donald
82.
Trump. Yeah, yeah, he's older than Donald Trump, but he's I'll look that up, but go
So he
ahead.
got to be what, 83?
Let's see. We're gonna look that up right now because I done lost track, girl. Child,
Girl, oh.
old. Let's see. How old are you, sir? 80.
So he's 80.
He'll be 81 in November.
Trump's 82. McConnell is half past dead.
I mean, let's talk about that real quick because that's what really, I mean, between him, I mean, there's so many of them.
Feinstein, is that her
Yeah,
name?
yeah, I was just, you
Did you
took the words
see
right.
her? She was supposed to be voting. She starts reading a speech.
They got to tell her when to say yes and
They had
no. And
to whisper to
oh
her,
my God. And it's
Madam,
so, and she's
this
messing
is
up her
just a
legacy.
vote.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, there has to be an
But
age
listen, y'all,
limit.
if these same people we talking about went into the DMV to get certified to drive a car, the answer would be no.
Yeah. So how are they
It would be
making
no.
law? How are they involved in making laws and all this stuff for our country?
McConnell had a mini stroke on live TV. I don't care what nobody says.
That's what it was because they said he had been having mini strokes and falling out all year long. Like he's been falling
He
out.
had a literal concussion, what, a couple months ago?
Yeah, and that's probably what it was from. He probably had a stroke and fell out. They said he's been falling all year long.
I mean, the way he paused.
That was scary.
I was like, I told Ronnie, I said, oh, he just had a stroke.
Yeah.
I mean, just blanked out. We've seen it happen to kids. I've seen some parents on social media, like, whose kids have epilepsy or something, and they record and they go into this like blank, and they have to keep calling them, and then like shake their head a little, like, hey, and they pop out of it, and then the kids will like start crying because then they don't realize, what just happened.
Right.
Child, they need to put age limits
There
on
needs
it.
to be a serious age limit on there because and not only just Congress, but like you said, the presidency. Because I mean, if you had to have an age limit to run for president, there has to be an age limit where you can't run.
And my question is this: why y'all don't want to go home?
They don't want to get rid of that power and that money and the power. They don't want to get rid of that, and it's mainly about power now. I don't even think.
Why you don't want to like go get on a boat?
Listen,
and like go. You can't even, if you go home, you ain't even gonna enjoy yourself.
No,
you have literally. Do y'all know they've been walking on them concrete floors and like that body is broke down.
Mm-hmm.
Feinstein ain't even walking no more. They just pushing her around in a wheelchair.
That's it.
So when she woke up that morning, nothing in her just said, I don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah. I can't do it. I'm not gonna do this no more.
And tell them. Because they are wealthy.
Yeah. So
you see Pelosi quit. We ain't heard her nor hear her.
Yeah, she said, I'm done. She said, y'all can have it. I'm done.
I mean, she got grandchildren.
Yeah.
She want to enjoy her life.
Mm-hmm.
While she still is vibrant, you know? Why give your whole life to that?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what everybody out here is working for.
Mm-hmm.
We working to retire.
Yeah.
To just be like, okay, this enough. Now it's time for me to chill out.
I mean, I'm already finding out when I can retire. It's just like, I mean, I'm already trying to get my age.
Listen, that's everybody's daily life.
Listen.
Okay, how many points I got? How many credits I got?
How many more years I got up in this bitch?
That's what people is thinking about. Why y'all don't think about that? Is my question.
That's the thing. Like, they don't. I just think a lot of them, they don't want to get rid of that power. They feel like they have power, and they don't want to get rid of it. Now, I put Feinstein in the same, and some others too, but no, like her in the same mindset as Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They don't want to give up their seats because they're afraid of who will take it over.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died on the bench.
Yeah.
And only reason why she did that was because, and she's not the first person that's passed while serving, but the
But
only,
she didn't retire
yeah, yeah,
because she was afraid of that.
she was afraid because she knew that she
And
was,
look what happened. She
yep,
knew.
she knew.
She knew it
And
was gonna
sadly,
happen.
she passed away while she was trying to hold on until Trump got out of office, and it didn't work. And look who she was replaced by, another fool who doesn't know anything.
Oh,
So it's just, yeah, there definitely needs to be an age limit, because it's just like,
these y'all
child,
people.
child. So also
Oh,
in the government going on aliens. So y'all out here seeing
TikTok
stuff.
videos. The TikTok videos are so funny because they were like, the government told us that aliens exist. Like the whistleblower just came out and said like they're actually holding alien bodies and aircraft. And
Child.
they were like, and nobody batted an eye. The,
Mm-mm.
the guy gonna say, because we can't be bothered with that. Like we are tired of living through disaster after disaster. Like we that's not our business. We don't even want to be bothered with the fact that we have to think that aliens live them. Like we
Right.
don't care. We don't want to know.
Child.
They
Whew.
played on this morning on Meet the Press. They played a clip 20 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when Buzz Aldrin, I think I said his last name right,
Yeah.
was a guest on the show. And was that Schumer? What was his name? Chuck. I forget Chuck's last
Yeah,
name.
Schumer,
It used to
yeah.
be on. Okay. And he asked
Oh no, you
all
talking about Chuck on Meet the Press?
yes, I forget
Yeah,
his
I
last
can't
name.
remember.
He
No,
passed
okay, I was
away.
thinking of the Senate guy.
The
No,
Senate.
yeah, I can't. I know who you're talking about, but I can't
Yeah, I
think of his
can't
last name.
remember his
Yeah.
name, but he had asked Aldrin like, "Are do you believe that there are life forms?" And he was like, "Yes."
Mm-hmm.
He said without a pause, you said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Buzz basically said, "Yeah." He said, now, do I believe it's in like intelligent life? He said, I don't know. He said, we are an intelligent species.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but do I believe that it exists? He said, yes. But
Mm-hmm.
I also believe that they are far, far away from us.
Mm.
And you know what I told Ronnie? I said, if you're flying out there and you're in Saturn, Mars, I said, Earth is ghetto. I
Yeah.
think they know it.
Yeah.
I think
They're not
from
trying to
where
come here.
they sit, Earth like reeks. It probably like lets off some kind of like fume or like a
Oh
stench when you drive
yeah.
by. I said
Yeah.
they don't want to
They
come
don't
here.
want to come here and deal with this.
They don't want to.
No.
Uh-uh.
Girl, remember
They
that
probably smell it from out there.
remember that TikTok meme? I think I posted it like a year or two ago where that girl, she did like the little green screen thing where she turned into an alien, and she was talking about how her and her friend were jumped on their spaceship and were coming down, and she got so verklempt because she was talking about how ghetto the earth was. And I said, I know those are the exact conversations that these aliens are having
Listen,
when they look
they
down.
don't want to come here.
Child, they ain't. Yeah, we don't even want to be here half the time. So shit.
So
It's
why
like,
would you think?
right.
Y'all don't even want to visit y'all's cousins.
I
So
mean,
why do you think that aliens are like, oh, let's go over Earth's house. Let's go see what they
yeah.
doing. Child, they can hear that them bombs being let
Listen.
off from up there. They know something going on. They probably
Yeah.
watching this place like a movie. Like, ooh,
And like you said, it stinks. They're not trying. They're like, ooh,
oh, child, the
mm-mm.
stench is terrible. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
that.
They're like, ain't nobody trying to go
The
down there and deal
ocean
with that
getting
shit.
hot,
Yeah.
fish bubbling up on beaches. It stinks. I'm a firm believer that the stench of Earth from the what you call it, the stratosphere, is
Yes,
funky.
girl.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
has to
stand on
be.
that.
Yeah.
The water. Who was out in the ocean and they said the temperature of the ocean was 100 degrees? Was it Jamaica? What was I
That's
watching?
crazy.
And then this water, it was Florida. It was one of those temperature of the water was 100 degrees.
That's
Child, it
crazy.
stink. It stink.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all been in hot and it's hot outside. Y'all
Oh
been in
yeah.
places that was hot with no air and it had a stench.
Yeah.
It stink.
And then y'all go in them ocean waters and do all this crazy stuff, and then now y'all stink even more than you already did.
Oh
So there's
my
that.
God. And then that counts as your bath. So don't take a shower after. So
because y'all don't think
yeah,
you're
it stinks.
dirty, so you don't use
You know, now
soap.
that I've learned about bath day, I know why people used to make jokes and say that the Caucasians smell like cheese.
Oh, girl.
Makes sense now.
I mean, they've admitted it. Quite a few of
I
them have admitted it.
Yes, I saw a lady. I guess she was a white lady, and I guess she was getting backlash. I
Mhm.
believe that she's married to a black man, but she was talking about when she grew up, and people were saying, I guess somebody white got smart. You know how on TikTok you can reply to somebody's comment,
Yeah.
and she basically was telling the person like, I grew up in a house where I was told you don't have to take a shower today because you took one yesterday,
Mm.
or I was told you don't have to take a bath tonight because you went swimming
Mm.
today.
Because the chlorine
She,
got it, girl.
she said, I grew up in a place where I was told this. She said, I didn't learn how to properly wash myself until I got to the military. She said, and the black girls showed me and some other white girls. She said it was
Mhm.
not just me, it was other white girls. They showed us how to properly wash ourselves.
That's crazy.
She said, so for me, it's protect black women at all
I
costs.
know that's
She said,
okay.
because my mother in law has taught me more about hygiene
Mhm.
and taking care of myself than my actual mother ever did.
That's crazy.
She did. She said, so for me, it's protect black women at all costs. Like,
Okay.
I
Listen,
mean,
I
y'all can
mean,
keep denying it, baby, but I could have swore I read somewhere that the Africans showed y'all how to bathe. But
yeah. Yeah, I
this is
think that is
what I
true.
thought I came
Yep.
across.
Mhm.
You know,
That's why they had them bathing their children and everything like that because, they didn't know what
I
they were
could have
doing.
swore in some writings that Christopher Columbus said the Africans know the way. But I think that's what I heard. Now
Yeah. I
y'all
mean,
can keep acting like
that we're the
that's on
dirty
y'all.
ones and
That's on
when
y'all.
we stuck our toes in the pools back in the day, y'all would drain it because we were the dirty ones, but come to find out,
Find out that was y'all's bath. Praise God that
I
y'all
mean,
didn't let us
listen,
swim with
thank
y'all.
you. Thank you so
Because
much.
the water was already filthy.
If you're from Columbus, Ohio, thank God for Maryland Pool because we had our own. Hello.
Listen,
So,
I mean, y'all was filthy.
child. Woo.
Ooh,
Anyway,
the disgust.
the
Um,
discuss.
so the topic for today. So let me tell you
Well,
how
no,
we
wait a
came
minute.
up
We got to
with
talk
the
about your
topic.
girl.
Oh, child.
So this is gonna be real
Girl,
brief, but y'all know Carlee Russell got arrested, and
she
she,
was real cute in that
I
mugshot,
mean, that's
though.
what I'm saying. I mean, sis was
She was
she was
serving in
perched,
that
yeah,
mugshot.
she was serving in that mugshot, and she was going to give
But
y'all
that
everything.
mugshot also lets me know that she is mentally
She's
disturbed.
crazy, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's definitely mentally disturbed, crazy, whatever you,
I
yeah.
used to have a client. Oh Jesus.
Uh-oh.
I used to have a client. She has since, gone on to another agency. But she her when I saw Carlee Russell's mugshot,
Mm-hmm.
she reminded me of my client because it's almost the absence of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And my client was just like, it's just, I swear, I don't know why this came over me. But she used to just always be like, can I use your phone? And I'm like, yeah, girl, go ahead. She used to be on my phone in my office,
Uh-huh.
like calling her tricks,
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
And she was
Girl got to
so
work, honey.
listen, I'm telling you, seeing Carlee Russell's face made me think of this voice.
Uh-huh.
She would be on the phone like, hey baby,
Yes.
baby, you gonna come by? And I'm like, when I saw her, I immediately thought of my client. I was like, oh yeah, that baby need help.
Yeah.
I can see it in her eyes.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get her some counseling because she's too attached to that boy. Like, oh,
Yeah.
cute. So see, that's how I
I mean
know
that right
it's a
there.
disconnect. It's a
Yeah.
disconnect because she's very attractive,
Mm-hmm.
and something in her made her believe that this was like an appropriate action,
Yeah.
all to get his
Yeah.
attention. It's definitely a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
So I pray she gets the whole help that she needs, but
Yeah, I
she
do too.
hard.
Yeah.
I think it was like filing a false report.
Mm-hmm.
And she should probably get some serious probation. And that
Yeah.
probation should consist of psychotherapy.
Yeah, they said either she'll get a lengthy probation. I can't remember how much time it was, or a year in jail. But hopefully, she'll just get probation, and
I
like you
feel like
said, the
she
time
needs
that
at
she
least
need.
2 years of probation, and
Yeah.
her probation should be like mandatory
Mm-hmm.
therapy.
And let me say this, Black folks,
Now, come on, because I said it to you yesterday. Go ahead
quit
and tell them.
quit these conspiracy theories about how everyone is making up all this stuff, and how just because she has never spoke out, that it's we shouldn't just take the police's word, because
Oh my God, y'all.
we're still on that. But yeah, I mean, because I'm tired of all these videos.
But tell me what you mean.
I
Like,
mean,
what do you mean conspiracy theory? Like they saying
they're
she was
saying,
really kidnapped.
yeah, they're saying that there's proof, there's video that she was really kidnapped. How come only TikTok has this stuff? How come
None of
y'all
y'all
aren't sending it to the police and they're
go to sleep.
examining it?
That's what I say to stuff like that. When people say real crazy stuff to me,
Yeah.
take a nap. Just lay down.
Yeah, that's what y'all are going to have to do. I'm tired of it. It's just like, I mean, they're not trying to make an example out of her and all this other stuff. She
But
fucked
I
up.
want them to make an example out of her because there are actual girls who are missing,
Thank
who
you.
actually need the help and the attention. And we need to deter this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody to think that that kind of behavior is acceptable.
Right. And instead of focusing on trying to make excuses for her, let's focus on trying to find and trying to put out names of other. I shouldn't see on YouTube more uh these white true crime people doing
Right.
more for finding
Black.
Black women
Yeah.
who are missing than our own people. And
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that too, because I do true crime, and I
Mhm.
know some cases that I have researched, but they're just so hard. It's just like I just don't want to talk about them.
But that's why I send you, and I send you cases too. Like
Yeah,
here,
you
like
do.
this is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to start
Because we
doing
do
that
need more
myself.
attention.
Yeah. I'm going to hold myself to the fire. I'm going to start doing that on my podcast. So,
Mhm.
yeah, because I don't want to, you know, be saying y'all need to do it and I'm not doing it.
And you're not
So,
doing it right.
yeah.
That's
And I
true.
have a platform to do it. So, girl, so let's go ahead and get into the topic for today. So, you sent me this topic and I think it's a real good one. So, go ahead.
I guess we haven't done a topic in a while. So what
Yeah.
happened was someone put a post up and said, "Girl, if you don't want to leave your man, I think that's what she said. If you don't want to leave him, don't go through his phone. If you're not prepared to leave,
Mm-hmm.
don't go through his phone." And so the question I pose is, do you have an expectation of privacy in a relationship? Here it is. If you don't plan on leaving, don't go through that man's phone. So
Mm-hmm.
this post had 116 comments.
Of course. I'm
And
sure.
my comment was something that my best friend, she stands on it and lives by it. And I live by it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to help you hurt my feelings.
That
I'm
right
not going
there.
to
I
do it.
love that. I've never heard that right there.
Because this is the thing, like she said, you don't necessarily have to be cheating.
Mm-hmm.
You may just be doing something that I don't necessarily agree with.
Mm-hmm.
She said that I don't care if that's liking pictures. I don't care if that's like saying a comment under somebody's page. You
Mm-hmm.
may never have another interaction with that person, but that may be something that I'm not okay with.
Right.
And then we gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna be sick, you're gonna be mad, you finna have attitude. It
You're gonna
it
pull a
takes
Carlee Russell.
yeah,
I mean, it's gonna get that deep.
yes. So then, you're in this situation, but then it made me think, um, what is the privacy level in
Mm-hmm.
relationships? Like how private. So, and I will admit to something.
Mm-mm.
So in um my marriage,
Mm-hmm.
we um now this is like privacy overall.
Yeah.
Is this TMI? Is this TMI? Let's just say this. If I would be be in the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna say it. If I'll be in the bathroom, I could be, sitting down.
Right.
Not necessarily doing the number two, but just
Mhm.
sitting on the toilet, period.
Mhm.
My husband would come in the bathroom and sit on the sink and talk to me.
Oh.
And I'll be like, "What you doing?" He'd be like, "I don't care about that." And we would go on with this conversation. So now it just became normal to me.
Right.
Like we were very open about stuff like that. So
Mhm.
we never closed the doors.
Mhm.
Like it was just me and him. Like
Yeah.
now people were there, of course you close the door.
Right.
But when it's just me and him, we never the door was just open because we just
Mhm.
talked. We just it
Right.
was normal. Now we were good friends. We were not good in relationship.
Mhm.
Um, you know, when it came to privacy, now we're talking about privacy.
Right.
Um, I don't think I've ever looked through his phone.
Mhm.
I may have looked in his emails though. I may have checked his emails. I may have looked in I may used to check his Black Planet.
Okay. Come on,
I
Black
feel
Planet.
like I used to go through his stuff.
Mhm.
And I think that relationship taught me not to do that.
Yeah.
Not to do that. Don't do that.
Right.
This relationship I'm in right now, I tell him just like this. My life's going great. Like, why would I ruin it?
Yeah.
Why would I participate in bringing my own happiness to a halt? I don't
Right.
want to. And he's like, ain't nobody doing nothing.
Yeah, because they're gonna go off and they're gonna be like, "Wait, why you even saying
What are
something?"
you talking about?
Yeah.
We pay his phone bill. He pays his phone bill over his cell phone.
Mhm.
And I'll be like, I don't really want to touch that phone because he wants me to do it.
Yeah.
So he's like, here, I didn't pay my cell phone bill. And I'm like, I don't want to touch this phone. Like, I don't want to go through this phone. I'm like, you go right to the thing so I can do it.
Yeah.
He goes to it. He's rolling his eyes like, it's nothing on you. I don't want to be ain't nobody doing nothing. But I'll tease him, but I won't look.
Right.
Like if his thing goes off, like if it's like a bing or something like that, or I'd be like, oh, there go your girlfriend.
Mhm.
Like, don't nobody call this phone. Like he ain't lying though. Don't nobody call that phone.
Right, right.
Like it rings sometime. It's his nephew. Like
Mhm.
don't nobody call him, but he says that he's like, I don't know why you think that. I'd be like, yeah, that's your little girlfriend. But look through his phone. I ain't doing
No.
that.
And
I
I
ain't doing that.
Yeah, and I've always said this. It's just like, and this is cliche, I know this is like what a lot of people say. A lot of people don't live by it, but they'll say
Mhm.
it. But if I can't trust you and you can't trust me, and that's a level of trust,
Yeah,
then we don't need to be together.
yeah.
And I really feel like that. It's like the first inkling that I have to where is something in me that I feel like I can't trust you. I might let a little bit slide, but I'll keep my eye on it. But if that feeling keeps coming back, because I'm a very good judge of character,
Yeah.
and and I kind of think I have a little sixth sense for a little shadiness.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
So,
think all women have an
oh
intuition.
yeah, yeah, that women's
I think
intuition
our
is
intuition
real.
is
Yeah,
it's real.
and I think that's why it's not good. Like you said from the beginning, I'm not
I'm
going to
not
go
gonna
through
go.
your stuff because I may find something that
Yeah.
you might not seem bad, because a man's going to be a man,
Right.
and I mean, I've dated both. So it's like,
Mhm.
whoever you're with, they're going to be who they are, but we're going to focus on
Right.
men right now because, more women listen to this
Right.
podcast.
Hmm.
Men they're going to be a man. And they're going to go on Instagram or wherever, TikTok. They're going to they're going to watch their little videos and, like pictures of these Instagram models and everything like that. They're going to do that.
Because I'm gonna break up with you. If you do that, I'm gonna break up
And
with you.
that's the thing. So it's like, if
I don't have time. I don't want to live like that.
yeah. And it's like, if that's a problem for you, then
Hmm.
you don't need to be with that man.
Yeah, like we gonna
Yeah.
break up. Like
Yeah.
if I come across some stuff like that,
Hmm.
it's over.
And I'm not saying all men are going to do that. I wasn't trying to say
Hmm.
that, but there are
Right.
some
Right.
men who are just going to do that, and it could be
Right.
harmless. It could just be they just like what they see.
Right.
Men are going to men.
Yeah.
But if that's something that
And
you're
you know what I
uncomfortable
tell
with,
women?
hmm
And this is why men are going to men and they refuse to not do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely want women to
Oh
change.
yeah. Now
They
that's a
want
whole
women
nother
to
topic.
conform, but they do
Mm-hmm.
not want to conform. And that is why so many women are single.
Right.
That is why.
Yeah.
That is why.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I feel like as I get older, and that's all of us who get old gets older, because the person who posted it was much older than us,
Mm-hmm.
at least by 4 years, maybe.
Okay.
And so I think as we get older, you don't want to live in a place where, like you said, if I can't trust you and if I get a little inkling that something is
Mm-hmm.
going on, the older you get, the more secure you become in yourself.
Yeah.
And then you just walk away so much easier. Like things are so much easier to let go of the older you get.
I mean, why do you think so many of these men our age and even older date younger women?
Yeah, because
Because
they want to mold them.
and they know that we're not going to put up with that shit after a
They-
while.
Yes, and they know that they will stick it out.
Mm-hmm.
They'll stick in there with you with that. But see, we've had enough living to know
Right.
we can see bull crap when it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not gonna participate in that.
Right.
Girl. But I don't know. That type of so okay, so let's fast forward to now the
Mm-hmm.
relationship I'm in. Like I said, me and my ex-husband, he would come in there and sit down.
Right.
The relationship I'm in now, he closes the door for everything. And
Okay.
so I think that's weird.
Yeah, so you're just like, wait a minute, like what's going on here? But that's just who he is. He's just a, just yeah.
Like he closes the door for everything. And I'd be like, why do you keep closing the door? That's so weird. Like I can't see
Yeah.
from where I'm sitting. It's
Right.
not like someone's gonna walk in. Like I don't. Why do you keep closing the door?
Mm-hmm.
Especially just to do number one.
Yeah.
But that's weird to me.
Because
I had
you're just not
no
used to that. You had that comfort level with your ex.
yeah,
So it's like, it's just like now that you have somebody and y'all been together for a while, so it's like you
10
still close
years.
the door? Yeah, it's just like, come on
And
now.
look, this is just crazy. So I had got released from the hospital.
Mhm.
And so, when you get released from the hospital, sometimes they send a nurse out for like 4 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that. So the nurse was here, and it was a man, and he's comfortable, and he's like, um, Takesha, can I use your bathroom? And I'm like, yeah, sure. He
Mhm.
just put that door open with no problem.
Mhm.
And that's when it really struck me, like, why do you keep closing the doors?
Right.
Because he again, he knew I couldn't see him.
Mhm.
I can't see you from where I am. So why did you close the door?
Right.
I didn't know. He the door wide open. I laughed to myself, like
That's all you could
I
do.
laughed.
Yeah.
Like it's hilarious. Like, but oh yeah, he's very like, I don't know. I don't know why I closed the door. I'm like, oh, okay. Show business, sir. Show business.
Right. You do what you do, boo. As long as you ain't doing nothing crazy behind that door and I feel like I might have to bust
Door be
in, we
closed for
good.
how long can a man pee? 10 seconds, 25
I
seconds?
mean, it don't take
All the
long,
brushing
unless they've been holding it all day.
door closed for I'm like, and that's what really struck me because it's like you was in here for 45 seconds. Why did you close that door?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Uh,
just what I do.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Yeah,
Oh
and
God,
maybe he's
here
just
we go.
always done that his whole life. Maybe his mom was just like, when you go in that bathroom, you shut that door, and that's just something that has stuck with him all these years, grown or not.
I was like, but yeah, I don't know. Privacy. Do I expect a level of privacy? Yes, because I feel like this. Even if you tell me that I can look through your phone,
Mhm.
if I don't look through your phone, please do not expect to look through mine. Don't think that that's like I'm gonna
That's
be
a
like,
open
oh,
yeah.
here you can see my no, no,
Right.
no, no.
Like I'm
But then
not
it's
you.
like, what if you're married? Do you expect a like? Because I hear people say this all the time.
Mhm.
oh, we share each other's pass. I know his passcode. He know
Mm-mm.
my passcode. You, I've been in a relationship for 10 years.
Right.
I've been with this man longer than I was married,
See?
and the thought of giving someone access to my phone makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
That make me nervous. I don't know.
It should.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, even if you marry, like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta give it to your husband too. Y'all be giving y'all husband the password.
Listen.
Oh, child, that's gonna send me into a straight tizzy.
I couldn't imagine.
I couldn't imagine.
Mm.
And I don't know if this necessarily means I'm doing anything wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that. It's just
It's just like, whoo, that's a lot of trust.
right.
That is like,
And I think with anything in life, especially a relationship and especially if you're living with that person, you have to have your own space. You have to have your own identity, and that requires privacy to an
whew,
extent. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
I
uh,
don't know about that.
what?
I I gotta still see because I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't
come
know.
on.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but it's just like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe just because I'm a private person and I feel like, I just don't have shit to hide. Maybe back in the day, yeah, but now I'm just like, it's whatever, so
You know
I'm
what I
just,
really wonder?
what's that?
So we're talking about privacy and
Mm-hmm.
expectation of privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna ask some married people this um for next week. So if you're married, do you again do you hand over access to your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect married person to access to too. Do you hand over access to your phone? Because if you're married, this is about to be crazy. What like is your ex not like is your ex still like messaging you?
Now
Or
that's a whole different topic
or
right there.
do
Like,
you feel like,
yeah,
do they check in with you every once in a while? Like, how you
right.
doing? Do you talk to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people? Like, do you get inboxes like, good morning, beautiful, how you doing? How's your day? Like, so, because I'm talking about when you're married now,
Mm-hmm.
or when you're dating. So because if you give access over, you're giving all that away.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
That's a
think
good
you're married,
question.
but I'm not ready.
Mm.
I'm not ready because that's like a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
It is.
You know.
And I just know,
Because like you
I mean, you're
said,
going to be
it
looking
may
through
not
my
be
shit.
anything. Yeah. Like I said in the beginning, it may not be anything wrong
Mm-hmm.
that you may be doing nothing wrong, but your mate may not agree with it.
Right. And that,
Prime
yeah.
example. My ex-husband sends me messages all the time. Nothing inappropriate because he know I
Mm-hmm.
don't play that.
Right.
But I always tell Ronnie. I always tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, because it may just be like, oh, well, this is going on. I'm like,
Right.
recently, my ex-husband, his father has been sick.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's like, well, I just want to tell you, what's going on with daddy. So yeah, we have talked about that quite a bit recently.
Right.
But nothing, you know, in all actuality, and I think I've said this to you before, um, I honestly told, my ex husband got remarried
Mm-hmm.
and had children and got divorced.
Mm.
And in the process, before he was getting a divorce, I was actually telling him, you don't really need to leave your wife. You need to
Mm-hmm.
stay with her. So we still like talk. Like I said,
Right.
we were better as friends than now. Look, this about to make a left turn because it's just revelation that the Lord just dropped on me.
There you go.
I have a serious problem dating people who I should just be their friend.
Mm.
And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I ended up in a marriage with somebody who I probably should have just been helping, you
Mm-hmm.
know, who I should have just befriended. But what I learned in that situation was I always learned that I can leave any situation
Oh
because
yeah.
what I had did and how I explained it to people is I went too far. You know
Mm.
how you start to introduce people to your family likes them, you kind of intertwine them into your life.
Yeah.
But along that intertwining, you see that that person is not right for you.
Oh yeah.
And
Mhm.
now you're like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
You don't know how to turn around. I didn't know how to turn around. My marriage taught me two things: how
Mhm.
to turn around and how to be an amazing wife.
Oh yeah,
And
there you go.
I don't toot my horn about being a good wife.
Mhm.
But what I mean by being an amazing wife is um, being a great covering to my husband. He covers me,
Mhm.
I cover him. The
Right.
Bible tells you that love covers a multitude of sins. A
Mhm.
lot of stuff happened in my marriage and never bash my ex-husband,
Mhm.
never talk down or try to defame him.
Right.
But instead, what the Lord showed me in that marriage was how to pray.
Mm.
Pray, how to still be quiet. And there are some secrets you should keep in marriage.
Oh yeah.
Um, Everybody doesn't have to be privy to what is going on in your marriage or your relationship.
That part.
Everybody doesn't need to know because they just don't have to. I know I hear
Mhm.
a lot of people say, "Oh, well, never tell because your family won't be able to get over it." I mean, all that stuff sounds cute, but just don't tell because you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Just don't tell because you made a commitment before God that you would forsake all others.
Mhm.
And that through sickness and in health, rich or poor, that this was the person you were going to be with.
Right.
Do things fall apart?
Of
Sometimes
course.
they do. Sometimes
Yeah.
they do. And sometimes you just don't have any control over that.
Mhm.
But while you're in that covenant and under that covering, just respect that person. And I
Right.
always felt like the things that went on in my marriage were kind of like not necessarily my story. I was just a part of the story.
Mm. Yeah.
So it was more his life to tell. I just happened to be there,
Right.
if that makes sense. So, I do think there should be some privacy in relationships
Oh
and
yeah.
definitely privacy between the two of you.
Yeah, and and girl, we talk about that all the time. Some of the things that we see, and it's just
Yeah.
like, and I'm glad you said that. Everyone is not privy to what's going on in your relationship, and when you
No.
put everything out there, that says more about you than your relationship.
Yeah. Like and I understand that we live in a time, um, and what really makes me sad, not to see 20-year-olds do it because they grew up this way, but
Yeah.
when I see people who are 40 and I see people who are our age
Mm-hmm.
doing that, putting their business out on the internet, and that's the part that kind of makes me sad because it's like, y'all, we should know better.
Right.
We're supposed to know better. I don't expect the young people to know better. Even though I talk about it a lot here, I know them little 20-year-old girls finna be naked on this internet because they ain't got no guidance.
Yeah.
They don't know better. Y'all supposed to know better.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you have become part of the problem.
Yep.
Your business is your business. Stop telling everybody what your husband doing to you behind closed doors, unless you're in danger.
Yeah. Now that's
Then
something totally
go
different.
WCA.
But just trying to get attention, and trying to be the victim and
That
everything
ain't
like
none of
that,
our
that
business.
ain't nobody's business.
Ain't nobody doing nothing but laughing at you
That's it. That's
because
the only
you
reason
keep
why they
sitting
want to
there
know.
taking it.
Yeah.
And I have said this, I started saying this years ago when Love and Marriage Huntsville came on.
Mhm.
Constant infidelity is emotional abuse. Infidelity is emotional abuse.
Mhm.
It's abusive behavior.
Yeah.
So if you are constantly sitting here telling people that your husband is having that much sex with women or a woman who is not you, and he is constantly unfaithful,
Mhm.
you're being abused, and I would advise you leave that abusive relationship.
Exactly.
leave it. Because my mama used to tell me either you going to shit or get off the pot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you going to sit there, shut up.
That right there, exactly.
It.
Because we're tired of hearing, like you said, the thing about it is you are telling all your business, and people, they may be acting like, they're concerned with everything like that, but they're sitting there with their popcorn, like, ooh, like this is
Clowning
good.
you.
Yeah, clowning you.
Clowning you. And at some point, you probably should be clowned.
Mm-hmm. Because it's
You in
ridiculous.
the circus now.
Yeah.
Child, well, what a show we
What
just
a
had.
show. Ooh, we got a lot of topics in on that one, girl.
You know what I'm saying?
Off to a rocky start, but we got it together.
Yes, we did. So we want to just thank you guys for listening, and we hope every week that you enjoy. We hope something is said or done. You see how I just went churchy on that?
That part.
We hope something is said or done that will change your life, honestly. That will make you make a better decision, not just for the week to come, but for your life. You can always reach us at girl underscore you know what on Instagram, at Wellness and Women, at DannieBSpeaks, and go on by the Pink Box TKB and do a little shopping.
Yes. And sidebar real quick, I got my package. I'm gonna do an unboxing. Well, I already did the unboxing, so I got so I'm gonna let y'all see what I got from the Pink Box TKB. So
And I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. If you buy something from the Pink Box TKB, you probably gonna get a free gift. I honestly tried. I tried to because I'm a new brand, so I
yeah.
want people to get the experience, and I kind of go based off of the client. I kind of look over and see what kind of client you are, or see what you bought, and I try to give you something that's comparable in style to what you
Yes.
purchased. So you should order something because you'll get something for free. So yes, I'll be waiting to see your unboxing. I can't see,
Yeah.
what you think of it. And I hope your grandmother likes the earrings.
Oh, girl, yes.
And I have something for everybody, you guys, not just for young people. I have things for working women, for if you want to go out to the club. It's something for everybody. But join us again next week, and we hope you guys have a blessed week.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.